Alright guys, so after I shot the video for the Trade SCHF 61, I had one of my subscribers ask me about what I use to sharpen my knives when I have a real big issue, or if I want to make sure something gets corrected or whatever it is. Quite often I'll only use a stone because most of my knives are Scandi. I do have two knives that I use that are not Scandi. One of them is the Schrade, and the other one is my homemade neck knife that I made. This guy, I originally made it as a Scandi, but I found it was too small to put on my stone to really get a decent edge on it. So I've been sharpening with my Lansky and slowly but surely taking it back to making it an even grind all the way around. So we're going to go ahead and work on this a little bit, just kind of like a demo, because this is still pretty sharp. But just to give you guys a look at why I use this instead of many other sharpening systems that could be used. So let's go ahead and open up this kit and we'll see what comes in it. I just got the plain kit. It's basically all stones inside. There is a diamond version of this, although it's about $40 more, and I got this guy here for about 30 bucks. I did make one change to this kit, and I'll show you that in a second. Alright, so here we have our Lansky kit. I do have a little X-Acto blade down on the bottom there. Don't pay any attention to that. But it does come with a Lansky honing oil. It comes with a clamp. You've got sharpening stones ranging from 120 all the way down to 2000. Now this stone here I added. So when you get all this kit, you'll see this one in this place and so on all the way down, and then there's a black one that fits in this spot, which was 60 grit, but I found it was a bit too aggressive to really have any good. So I took that out. I start with my 120 and I work all my way down to the sapphire, which is 2000 grit, and then I finish that one on the strop. So we have 120, 280, 600, 1000, and then 2000, which is the sapphire stone. I'll show you real quick how to set these up in just 2 seconds. Alright guys, so just to give you a couple of specs on this, it's just over a pound, and we'll get some measurements on here anyway. We've got 4 1/4 wide, 1.5 deep, and 8.5 long. So it's not a gigantic kit. It's reasonably light, but I mean, if you're carrying one of these and a DC4, for example, you've cut almost all of this weight. So anyway, that's just that's the size of the kit, in case you're wondering. All right, you're probably wondering what these rods were for inside the kit. So when you're setting up your blade, your knife to be sharpened, you're going to need your clamp. Now, if you can see on the inside of the clamp, it's got all these degrees here, all the way down to each little notch, and they're on both sides. I believe they go from 17, 20, 25, and 30 degrees. So from top to bottom, from bottom to top. Sorry. But to make sure that you got the same angle all the time on your gear, or on your stone, sorry, you want to take. Since my knife is not that bad shape, we'll start off kind of here. We'll start off with the, what is this here? This is the 280, and I'll show you what to do. So we're going to take our rod and we're going to screw it in. We'll place it through the hole. Down. So you drop your piece down to the table. Make sure that your stone and your rod are even, and then you'll tighten up your bolt. Once that's nice and tight, then you know that the angle on this one is set. So we'll put this one away and we'll set up the 3 that we need to set up right away. Get those out of the way. So we got our 4 stones all set up and ready to go. All of them will be at the same angle. Everything is nice and tight. So now we're ready to secure our blade inside of our clamp, and then we'll move on from there. Now we're going to set up our knife inside the clamp. You've got 2 adjustments. You got one here, which basically tightens up your upper part of the clamp, and this one is your tensioner. So as you You can see this as you turn this knob, it kind of levers in. Now, just to give you a quick look, as you can see, mine's damaged here. I actually broke a chunk off of this, and then I bought one off of eBay, and which is probably the reason why I don't buy anything off of eBay anymore, because there's too many thieves on eBay. And basically they sent me this homemade version of this, which is a total piece of crap, and there's no way that Lansky would put out pieces like that, even though that it has a Lansky name engraved on the bottom of it. There's no way that they would come up with a piece of junk like that. I really don't believe it. So anyway, I'll get over it, and we'll get to taking care of this knife here. So I'll try to find the center of the blade, somewhat anyway. And because my mine is damaged a little bit, I just dropped mine below. You'll see there's a little notch carved out inside to fit certain size blades. Well, I'm going to drop mine down just below that into the clamp, and we'll sharpen ours from there. Now we got it into the clamp. It's pretty tight. I can't wobble the blade. We look pretty straight. I'll give you a look at that. Maybe you can see. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see it's pretty straight in that clamp. Let's see. Yep, looks pretty good. So now it's very simple. We've got it into the clamp. We'll start off with our 260, which is probably a little bit overkill, but since we're showing you how to do this, we'll go for it. I put a couple of drops of oil on there, and that's probably even too much. So now I'm going to drop them into the slots, and we're going to see how much of the blade we're actually touching here, and you're going to see the angle that you need. I don't know, this is going to be kind of hard for you guys to see, but you'll see right in there we're touching. 20 degrees looks pretty good. Can I do 17? You know what? I could do 17, and we're not going to be batoning or anything with this. This will make it a pretty sharp knife. And just to be clear, you see that little bolt down there? When we're passing the stone, the bolt sticking out right here, we're not going to touch that with our stone. So now we're clear all the way down to start sharpening. According to the instructions, they say to start at the back of your blade, move up, come down, kind of like you're drawing an M, okay? In this direction. So we could do that, and I'll show you what I do to finish off a blade at the end. We're just going to do 3 passes up and down in that M formation, and then 3 passes on the other side. We'll do that 4 or 5 times in the beginning just to get us on track, and then after that we'll do 1 and 1, and we'll go back and forth like this. So I'm going to keep going for a little bit, and I'll come back shortly, and we'll clean off the blade, and I'll let you see what it looks like. Okay, so now you could see the line from the old bevel, from where the Scandi was, to where I've kind of made a nice bevel on there. It's not perfectly even, but I don't personally really care. It's probably not even because the first time I did this all originally straight off from stone and file. This knife was done before I had made my my jig, and I was doing everything by hand with a file only. But just to give you a look at that now. So now we're ready to change stones. We'll go on with the 600, and we'll continue the exact same process. Before, a friend of mine gave me one of these, these survival knives that you can buy with the paracord handles kind of woven onto them. And he really didn't know how to sharpen knives, but he gave it his best shot. And on his bevel, when it went down to go to his point, he had it all rounded off, and this steel was so hard. It took me forever. I was trying to do it on a stone. I'm like, wow, this is not going to happen. So I put it on the Lansky, and it helped me to be able to take care of the bevel to get it back to a nice, sharp, even, flat-looking bevel on each side instead of being rounded and lumpy and kind of screwed up and even dented and chipped. It took care of all that. So, but in that case, what I did was I did 10 passes on one side, 10 passes on the other, then 9, then 9, then 8 and 8, and so on, all the way till I got to 1 and 1. And then I switched stones, and then I did that again, and then again, and then again, until I got all the way down to the 2000 grit, and then the thing was laser beam sharp. So anyway, I'm going to keep on going, and it's really the same thing over and over and over again. So when I get down to the sapphire stone, we'll take a look at that, and then I'll put it on our strop, and then we'll take a look in the end and see how sharp we got it. Now, I just want to give you one quick tip of when you're using your Lansky rod. Now, your rod is going to be even with your stone, and that's going to give you your angle when you put it into the hole. But there is this little bit of movement, which will change your degree a little bit. So what I try to do is, when I put my finger on it, I try to keep a finger down low. So when I'm moving my stone back and forth, I don't hear any rattling around when I'm sharpening. If you hear any of this, then your angle is not going to be perfectly even from what you're sharpening. So try to keep your rod inside the hole pushed up against the bottom to keep your angle, and you'll have even better results. Alright guys, I just wanted to check in with you real quick just to show you, give you one last tip. While you're sharpening, try to use really controlled movements. See what I just did there? I was going a little too quick, not paying attention, and I came up and over, and I landed on top of my blade, and that can set you back a little bit while you're sharpening. It really isn't rocket science, but because it is a repetitive movement and you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, you tend to pick up speed, and you can damage all your hard work by coming down and whacking the top of your blade. So right now I'm pretty close to done. I'm on my 2000 grit, my 1000 grit stone now. So the next time you see me, we'll get ready to pop this onto a strop and see what our final results can be. Alright, so I'm back. I've done a few passes already with my sapphire stone. Now when I've come to the end, and we've been following the instruction of doing like the M motion, doing like an M all the way to the end, and then repeating from back to front. Once I've done that, and I feel like, yeah, my blade feels pretty sharp, what I like to do is I like to start from the back and just do one long strip. And try not to go right off the edge so you don't damage the tip of your knife. And just do a whole bunch of these passes. This is what I do. It's not in the instructions. It's just what I like to do. And I find I get better results. So if you guys want to do that, go ahead. If not, that's fine too. I usually do 5 or 6 passes per side, and then I work my way down to basically 1 pass per side, and then I'll put it on the strop just to finish her up. We will release our knife from our clamp, and then we'll do what everyone knows how to do, is just gently add a little bit of weight and strop that knife back and forth, a couple passes each direction. Some people feel comfortable just going like this, back and forth. I don't. I like to switch hands for some reason. One thing that can actually ruin your results of stropping your knife is actually putting too much pressure. You don't want the thing to curl around the edge of your blade. You want it to just to kind of skim it and straighten out that burr. Now with the Lansky system, you can also buy an add-on piece like I did with the 2000 grit stone. You can pick up a strop, a leather strop that'll do the exact same thing as what we're doing here. But I didn't go for it because I already have a few strops. I have the one from my field kit, and I have this one that we're using now. So I didn't see the need to. Actually buy a third one, considering the ones that I have currently will already do the job fine. So we're coming pretty close to a mirror finish here. There we go, guys. Hair popping sharp. So that's the Lansky sharpening system. That's what I like to use when I'm fixing up damaged blades that have a really small bevel on it. So you really have to make sure that you get your angle right. I can sharpen knives with a traditional stone, and I think that this is probably the best way to go if you're just sharpening, maintaining a blade. But when you're fixing something that's really damaged or really ruined, like the bevel's completely off or ruined, I find the Lansky sharpening system makes things much quicker. You'll get the same results with a stone with some practice using this, but with the Lansky sharpening system, it takes away that whole trying to focus on your angle and making sure your speed and your pressure's even and all this stuff. The Lansky will set you on your way right away. For at home, fixing up nasty gnarly blades that have had the crap beat out of them, I don't think the Lansky can be beat. I have tried a couple of others. They're kind of like knockoffs of this. I didn't find them as good. They sharpened well, but I found the materials they were made of were not as good. I've had this for close to 10 years. Yeah, close to 10 years, and it's still going strong. To the subscriber that was asking me about it, I hope this answers your question. I find it quite an easy method to sharpen your blades with. It works very well. It's reasonably inexpensive. The diamond sharpening system is quite a bit more. The longevity of this system, it lasts a long time. I haven't had to do much maintenance on my stones to keep them in top condition. So thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Stay tuned for something else coming up soon. I've got a new piece of kit that I want to show you guys, and I really love it. But I want to do a little bit of a field test to it. So anyway, you guys take care. Get out and explore. And thanks for watching. I appreciate you all.